Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching our earwax removal compilation video today. So we've got two patients in this compilation. The first patient here has come through with a very sticky blocked up ear canal on one side. You can see it's more of a kind of an oval shape to the canal there. We're using the standard size ulnar tube in here, lifting this plug away. As we draw this out, the whole plug comes out in one piece. This kind of very oval shape to the plug as well, rather than that kind of round ball shape we normally get. You can also see there's a bit of loose skin to the right. There's also a little bit of loose skin to the left canal wall as well. So we're just drawing the suction tube along the back of that skin just to try and chip that away. Eardrum there is looking really healthy. We can see a little bit of loose skin to the left side. So we're going to switch now to the fine end. We're going to get a grip on this skin. And what you'll see is as we lift, you'll see the loose flap of skin come away. But it reaches a point where it just won't budge further than that. Now that's where it meets the healthy skin that's still attached. So what we're going to do is rather than lift up, we're going to draw away from it and shear that off. The reason we didn't lift it, if you've ever had a pull of skin next to your nail and you've pulled it and it kind of carries on and it goes all the way down, can feel quite sore. That can happen in the ear canal, but because the blood vessels are really close to the surface, it would cause a bit of bleeding. So we just pull backwards rather than lift up. So eardrum looking good. It's a right side of the eardrum because it's pointing off to the right side, and you've got the hammer bone pointing off to the right and the light reflex on the right side there. So you can see this plug that we removed. It's a centimetre and a half, 3/4 of an inch there. The skin pieces that we took away all got sucked inside the machine there. Oh, this patient was lovely. So basically, this patient's come through very, very dry skin issues. This patient has very, very nervous coming into clinic. Never had their ears really sort of cleaned out by suction before. Didn't really know what to expect. Always been used to having it done by the GP. But what's happened here? The patient's been experiencing a lot of hearing issues, having real difficulty communicating with sort of friends and carers and other bits and pieces. But what we can see here is we've got this dry, almost hardened up skin, this sort of what they call a keratinous skin. So basically, imagine skin goes almost like a bit like leather when it's detached too long. It gets really toughened up. Now what happens here is that there's actually a piece of wax in the middle of all this, but all the side canal walls there, which have dried out and detached, have all gone around the wax. So you've ended up with this kind of almost like this sort of cocoon of dry, hard skin around this plug of wax in the center, if you like. So I would use a food analogy, but I'm going to avoid it. So what you can see here is we've just got to get a good grip on this skin, but because it's so tough, it doesn't want to budge. So it's really kind of hardened against the canal wall and it's all hardened against each other. So imagine like a long sleeve of hard skin. This is what we've got in here, almost like a sock, if you like, of hard skin. So we're just trying to break the outside edge of this down using the standard size ulnar tube. We've managed to get a few pieces away, but we're going to have to use the crocodile forceps a little bit here as well. Now, as we pull this, you can see it's drawing the next piece of skin down. Now, this skin is going right the way along the top of the canal wall, around the side and the bottom as well. So as we pull this out, what we're effectively doing is feeding this long strip of dry skin along the top of the wax there. There we are, we're just getting a good grip on the top here. You can see as we're just kind of trying to pull it forwards and down, trying to draw this skin along the top section. It is moving slightly, but suction doesn't always hold onto it tight enough for us to be able to pull this out, which is why we're switching tools again. We've gone back to the crocodile forceps now. Got a good grip on the top. Look, as we pull this, look at that layer of skin coming. It's sliding off the top of that wax there. So we're going to get this left-hand side canal wall here and the bottom. We're just going to start lifting this away as well. Now, the difficulty here is the wax is quite dry, so it's dried around that piece of skin as well. So sometimes we can use the skin almost like a little sled and we can hold onto it and pull the wax with it. The difficulty here is the skin is still holding onto the canal walls really firmly. So as hard as I'm pulling from the front, the skin is also holding itself in at the back, which means that the crocodile forceps effectively shears that dry skin rather than sort of draws it out as it did with the piece you saw that came off the top earlier. So we're just working our way around the outside edge here, lifting from the bottom there. You can see we're trying to hold on to the skin. What I'm trying to do is turn the wax. I'm trying to lift from the base so it effectively scoops the wax upwards as well, just to try and draw this down. But you can see every time we've gone in with the crocodile forceps, although it shears, it does draw it, the wax and the skin that little bit further down the canal. I just missed that little bit of skin there. So I'm gonna have to reposition this. What I'm doing is lifting up to give enough clearance to get the jaws of the forceps above, so we can get it above and below that piece of wax there. Obviously, if it starts to move when we do this, then we'll still carry on with the suction. And you can see that big chunk of skin there detaching from the left side canal wall. Trying to hold on, but it just kind of unravels the skin rather than draws it out. Sorry guys, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat today. So we're just pulling this down. You can actually see a little bit of that dry skin. When we pull out of the ear canal, you can see there's a little bit of dry skin just at the top here. So what I'm trying to do now is lift from the canal walls and see if we can turn this. See, we're trying to kind of draw it across and lift it up from the bottom. You can see that bottom right corner. I'm trying to draw this around. So I'm hoping it'll detach that bottom layer of skin and the whole thing will shift. So we're just holding on now to the outside edge and lifting there. Pulled it forward slightly. Let's see if we can get a grip. That's just still shearing. Always difficult, this tougher skin material to get away, especially not so bad if it's detached, because you can actually use the strength of the skin against itself and pull it away. But when it's still attached like this one is, always difficult. There we are. You can see we're trying to draw this down the canal here. Let's grab it with the crocodile forceps again there. Just sheared it away again. What I'm going to do now, we've got this skin, you can see it really clearly here, this layer of skin underneath from the top and from the side as well, all collapsing in front of the suction. So if we can bunch and gather all this inside the end of the suction tube, it means I'm pulling on all sides at the same time, which is hopefully going to be enough pressure. We're using the strength of that skin now, as we said just a second ago, against itself. So we're holding on to this and really drawing this down the canal. There we are, you can just start to see a bit of wax just come away from the top there. It's going to give us a little bit more maneuverability. We're going to be able to wiggle this back and forth just a little bit more. There we are, it's just, we can start to get a grip on that wax layer behind now. You can see how it's changed in colour. We've got the dry skin at the front, the wax behind now, this darker material starting to come down the canal. There we are, you can just see it there. Is this going to budge all the way out? You can see we've got a good grip where it's not. Jobson horn coming in here just to give us this kind of, almost like this fulcrum, be able to lever this out here, which is what we've got. There we are, we've got that front section, but as we pull, it's really connected to the rear section as well. So if I'm lucky, we get a grip there, the whole thing is going to come out, which is exactly what happened. So you can see this really dark material, this really dark wax. That lighter material you saw then just at the top, that was the dry skin. There we are, there's the ear canal looking a lot better. Eardrum looking much healthier there as well. So there we are, you can see the skin materials to the left hand side. So that's the first sort of 2.5 centimeters, which I think is about 1.25 inches, I think, or 1 inch even. And then you've got the darker material there to the right hand side as well, which was the wax that was encased in all of that skin. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did in voicing it over. We shall see you again now for Wednesday night's video, which is still at 9 PM UK time. Oh guys, if you're new to the channel, you've never seen this before, we post new earwax removal videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 PM UK time. I always forget to say that. So please consider subscribing if you are enjoying the videos. All the best guys, take care of yourselves and one another, and I shall see you again real soon.